Great to see you. We were talking earlier about what life is like for the professional athlete in the off season. And C said you get up, you work out for like 3 hours, then you count your money, then maybe you work out again. What's the off season been like for you?
Off season's becoming really smooth. Rookie year was kind of got to find your track, kind of find a routine to get into. This off season, it was real smooth for me. Just been out in LA, working with some of my teammates, hanging out, and then this summer, the little break we get in the summer, just stayed around here, stay at the facility, and just getting ready for camp. So it's pretty smooth, a little fun, a little bit of fun.
What's the most fun thing you've done? The non-football stuff.
We took my teammates and I took a trip to Costa Rica, and they have this like the world's longest zip lining tour.
Oh yeah,
and
nice.
When I say it was insane, it was crazy. Like monkeys were under us as we're zip lining. We got big birds flying like next to us. It was kind of scary, but it was fun.
Now the first 2 years in the league, I try to tell people all the time, the experience of playing in the league is even better than what you dreamt of when you got there.
Exactly.
Your experience being here with the New York Football Giants for 2 years, going around the league, how has that prepared you for success in year number 3?
It's taught me a lot. It's taught me a lot about dealing with adversity. This media market up here is crazy. Definitely have to kind of stay focused, and it taught me that. And just the kind of the bumps and the bruises I went through, kind of learn how to take care of my body. It's just really just turned me into a professional. So definitely everything happens for a reason, and definitely want to win more games. And I wish 2 years were a little bit more better on the success level as a team. But everything happens for a reason, and the things I learned in the next 2 years, I'm really excited going into this year, knowing what I have under my belt.
Chris says all the time that even if a player's numbers don't necessarily show it, every guy in year 3 is better as a football player than they were in year 2. Like we were talking about Dak. Dak's year 1 was unbelievable. Year 2, he comes back to the pack. And Chris was adamant going into last season. I don't care what the numbers say. He's better because he knows so much more football. When you think about your level of football sophistication, if you will, the day you get drafted out of Ole Miss to where you sit here today, how much better, not just physically, but mentally of a football player do you find yourself a couple years later?
The game's just slowed down. When you come in as a rookie, everything's kind of spinning. You're trying to make your mark and find your niche in the team and trying to earn a starting job. And so there's a lot of things spinning, trying to learn a new playbook, you learn new teammates, and trying to just get comfortable. But coming into year 3, the game is more slowed down, more healthy, and opportunities to make big plays. Kind of more excited about, especially coming out. You're in the slot, you reading coverages, or you see you have a linebacker or a safety on either a man zone. All that stuff just kind of starts coming natural. And when the game slows down, you start playing more comfortable. That's when you can kind of get in your bag, and that's how it is going to be for me. This game just more slowed down, and it's going to be more fun.
Evan, there's some good things and there's some not so great things about playing in New York and on this stage. The great thing is this is the media capital of the world. You're in New York City. You get to have fun. The Giants are always highlighted. But the last couple of years haven't been such smooth sailing for this Giants team. You had a lot of controversy with whether Eli should still be playing. And then you draft Daniel Jones. And then Odell leaves last year, which I'm sure was a little bit of a surprise. How distracting and then the record and how you guys have been playing, I'm sure far underwhelming for the Giant standards that you usually have. What's the last couple of years been like for you? How have you been able to handle it as a player?
You kind of just got to realize you can only control what's in your control. And I know that's doing everything I can for my team and doing the most I can to put them in better positions on Sundays and lead in the locker room and be better and be a better player for the team. So definitely a lot of distractions. You got to kind of block all those out.
Which distraction do you think surprised you the most of everything that's happened in the last couple of years? What were you most surprised
We have an ongoing debate about the media.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned it. He went to school at Ole Miss. It ain't like there's a treasure trove of reporters covering Ole Miss compared to the reporters that cover the Giants. So I could see him being surprised. How much of an adjustment was that coming from SEC, Ole Miss, to New York Football Giants?
I think in college, as you said, there wasn't a lot of reporters going crazy about what we were doing. But the thing that kind of had to adjust to was just everybody's so obsessed with the negativity. Obviously, I mean, you can kind of tell a difference when we're losing and there's turmoil. Those reporters come in the locker room running, sprinting. ready to ask questions, ready to stir up some drama. So it's just you just gotta kind of try to be able to neglect the things that can distract you, and just stay focused on doing what you can every single day to be a better player and make your team better.
Right. There's a number of people that would say OBJ was a distraction the last couple years. Your experience with him, I believe, is very, very different. You and him are friends not only on the field but off the field. I believe when you went to Los Angeles, you probably spent some time with OBJ, not only working out but doing other things. What did you learn from him from a football standpoint, and what did you learn after hearing about him getting traded?
I love having Odell as a teammate. He was, despite all the things in the media, he was great in the locker room. He was great as a friend. He'll always be a brother as long as we stay close. So, but the biggest thing I love being his teammate was just watching him every day. The dude's by far one of the best football players I've ever seen. And just watch him every day, whether it's just catching balls, his releases, the top of his routes. Just him as a football player I had to take advantage of that. And being his teammate helped my game, and it's helping me develop, and it's helping me become a better football player. And you know, like I said, those things that happen this offseason is out of my control. At the end of the day, I'm still a New York football Giant. I still play for the Giants, so my job is to keep working and keep being better and keep growing as a player so that can be better.
Did it make, after seeing Odell traded, because it shocked a lot of Giants,
Yeah.
I talked to a few of them, but it also made them, their alert button went up that, man, if he got traded, anything could happen to me. Did you feel that way?
It's hard not to. Yeah, it's really hard not to, especially when the business isn't going as a business should be going. There's going to be changes that are made, and in this league, nobody's safe. So it's definitely, like I said, those distractions are kind of hard to keep away. But like I said, just got to stay focused and can worry about what you can control.
What did you think of Saquon, his rookie year?
Unbelievable. I think the biggest thing with Saquon is obviously he's a special talent, and he's a crazy football player, but he's a natural leader. He's a real natural leader. As soon as he came into the locker room and got settled and got comfortable on the field, he was motivating guys. He was pushing guys. He pushed me to become better. He's pushing guys on defense.
How does a guy like that push you to be better? Take me through. Either words, example.
I would say example. I think it all comes down to competition. The more you can compete every single day, the more better you're going to be as a player when it's time to play against somebody not on your team. And that's something that he kind of brought to our team that was missing a little bit. Just having those little small competitions, whether it's sprints or whether we're in practice and team periods going against the defense. When you start getting that dog mentality and you start getting that competition, you want to win, that's going to help us on Sundays.
He also, you alluded to it, we've had him on the show a couple times. He is shockingly polished and poised for someone as young as he is. When you saw his rookie class, your rookie class was the one right before his, did not just his talent, his athleticism, but his, I'll use the word again, polished, did that strike you as almost mature beyond his years?
Definitely. I mean, obviously, he was very talented coming out of college and had a lot of expectations on him, and especially getting drafted to the Giants. I mean, there was a lot coming at him. I mean, from day one, he came in just smooth, real humble, and understood that there was a lot of work to do, and understood that that it's a process to becoming great. And so that's the biggest thing. Just his maturity coming in and his leadership skills coming in was very good to see, and it's very good for our team.
You guys drafted a quarterback this year in Daniel Jones. Tell me a little bit about the dynamic between Daniel and Eli and what their relationship is like. And have you caught any balls yet from Daniel?
Oh, yeah. Daniel has been doing a really good job. He got in OTAs and got settled and started getting comfortable and learned the system. And Eli has been a great pro that he always been. You know, some guys, they draft a young quarterback, and you kind of towards the end of your career, you might feel some type of way. You can't see that with Eli. He's doing everything he can to help Daniel, and at the end of the day, Daniel's pushing him as well, and Daniel's pushing him to be a better player. So it's been really cool to see those guys mesh and how they work together in the quarterback room. And Daniel's Eli's gonna make Daniel a lot better, a way better quarterback, and vice versa. So it's been cool to see both of them work together and see Daniel grow the past couple months he's been here. What
is Eli like as a teammate? We see him on the field. People can have their opinions of his level of play, but Eli is an elder statesman and is a guy who obviously obviously has been the face of this franchise for almost 2 decades now. You're not quite young enough to be his son, but his nephew at least. Like, what is he like as a teammate for you?
Eli's one of the guys. He's definitely just a little bit more quieter, more kind of soft-spoken, but he's a jokester. He likes putting pranks on guys. He's got some really lame riddles that he tries to spit out.
Yes.
Yeah, dad jokes. So he's cool to be around. He's just one of the guys, and you would think coming in, I'm thinking like, oh, he's just always to himself, or it'd be hard to talk to. No, he's a great friend and a great teammate.
One thing I see all the time in the league is guys like yourself, they come in with a great deal of confidence because you just don't get to this level without having confidence. And then earlier in their career, they either have failure, either, wow, they realize this game is a lot harder. This is a big jump even from the SEC to the NFL. And, man, I'm not as good. One of my issues with you, I'm going to tell you this, because you're here, your mom's here. When they drafted you, I told Nick Wright, this guy's going to be a star. He's a perfect fit. NFL tight end, prototype right now. #1 is a receiver. Yes, he's a capable blocker at the end of the line of scrimmage, but he should catch 70, 80 balls early in his career. He might have 1,000 yards. That's not your fault. We know the Giants, their offense hadn't had the productivity. Do you believe your expectations are back on par when you got drafted after taking a couple steps of, man, this league is difficult. I got injured. It's not easy, because initially you started off to a very hot start. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Are your expectations back to where they were when you first got drafted?
I would say they're a little bit higher.
Great.
I think coming in rookie year, it kind of came easy to me because I learned the offense quick. We started making plays. We had some injuries on offense that kind of allowed me to have a bigger role in the offense, and it kind of was starting to come easy to me. So going into that rookie offseason, that first offseason, I'm like, oh, this is a breeze. I'm from to take off and do what I do. And year 2 comes around, and that adversity hit. Some injuries, a couple bad games, another injury. You start missing time, and you start forgetting, like, well, how good am I, or how good can I be? So just the way last year ended, I was healthy and started making some plays and getting involved in the offense and started playing better football as a team. So going into year 3 now, those expectations are back, I'll probably say, a lot higher than coming in as a rookie.
Give me a number, catches and yards this year. If we're at the end of the year, you've had a good year. We know the Giants, they want them to win. Say the old corporate thing, but you personally, give me a catches, yards for you.
80, 1,200.
Okay, let's do that. We're going to write it down. I like that.
That's it. Perfect.
Awesome.
Best tight ends available in the league. Gronk retired.
Go get it.
Evan. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.